Hey there, dreamers and doers. Amanda Rosazza here from Be the Black Sheep, welcoming you to another episode of Disney PD, where we show you how to bring the magic home. Well, this episode is all for my 80s and 90s kids out there who grew up raised on a diet of classic 80s and 90s sitcoms. Who's out there for me? Preach! You know who you are. You know who I'm talking to. So there was a bunch of 80s and 90s sitcoms that visited either Disneyland or Walt Disney World. The list is endless. It's not endless, but there's a few. We're talking Roseanne, we're talking Step by Step. More importantly, what we're going to focus on is the Tanner family. That's right, we are going to be talking about Full House and their visit to Walt Disney World in the 1993 episode When the House Meets the Mouse. It's actually a two-parter. If you haven't seen it recently, go back and check it out. I had to go back and check it out because I could not remember really anything of what happened. I'm not gonna lie. I would have been about 7 when I originally saw it. So I had to go back and check that out, and it was really enjoyable actually.
Whatever happened to predictability?
Okay, so you all remember Uncle Jesse. Who could forget that hair? Uncle Jesse has been invited to tour to Walt Disney World with his band, Jesse and the Rippers. Everyone seems to know about it before Jesse hears about it though, because his wife is called by his agent and she must have told the rest of the household. Because before Jesse knows it, instead of surprising Rebecca, his wife, to let her know that they're visiting Walt Disney World for their anniversary, Uncle Joey's coming so they can do their radio show, and Danny and all of the kids are coming so that they can all enjoy a trip to Walt Disney World as well. Now, there's multiple storylines going on in this episode, but there's one that we are concerned with, and that is dealing with everyone's favorite character, Little Michelle.
You got it, dude.
So before the family make it to the Magic Kingdom, there's actually an altercation between Little Michelle and her older sister Stephanie about who's going to get the last, not the last chocolate in the box, but the last good chocolate in the box. So they have a little altercation. They come to Danny and they say, I want this chocolate, and there's a little bit of a fight. And Danny lets Michelle get her own way, mainly because she pulls the nuts make me puke line. Who hasn't done that before to get the last good chocolate in the box? But anyway, so there's this running theme of Stephanie feeling like Michelle's getting her own way, whether it's because she's the youngest or she's more conniving or whatever it is. But that's the running theme, so keep that in mind.
Coincidence? I'd call it a bombshell.
Okay, so now the girls have made it to Magic Kingdom and there's an opportunity for someone to be princess of the kingdom for a day. Naturally, everyone's really excited, and you have Michelle and Stephanie fighting again over who's going to be next in line. DJ pipes up and says, hey Stephanie, let Michelle go, she's only a little kid kind of thing. So Michelle goes next, she rubs Aladdin's magic lamp, and poof, out comes the genie. Oh my goodness, she's granted 3 wishes. So the girls find themselves going on a bit of an adventure with Michelle and her 3 wishes. The first thing that she wishes for is that they can all ride on rides without having to wait in line. Everyone's pretty excited about this at first. Who wouldn't be, right? It's like Fast Pass of the future. However, all Michelle wants to do is ride the carousel. The girls start to get a little bit upset by the time they get to the 10th ride of the carousel. But then Michelle decides she's had enough of them complaining and she goes and runs away. So at this point, as you can tell, Michelle is being a little bit of a spoilt brat. So have a think about maybe what the classic 80s, 90s sitcom moral of the story might be.
You think I'm bossy?
Not you, princess.
So Michelle's disappeared, but luckily Snow White, being the amazing princess that she is, finds her in a jiffy. Snow White asks little Princess Michelle what she'd like her second wish to be. And naturally, and who wouldn't, she wishes to have a tea party with Mickey and all the other princesses and all their friends. I would have done the same thing. But then Michelle gets to said tea party and she realizes it's not quite the same without her family being there. So she's sad. Snow White asks her what's up and she says, this would be so much better if my family was here with me. So that brings us to in comes Danny, Michelle's dad, in comes Stephanie, in comes DJ, in comes Kimmy. Everyone's found her because Snow White has said, hey, she's with me. Awesome, she's found. Now, this leads Danny to deliver an amazing, epic, fantastic dose of 80s, 90s comedy. What's the word I'm looking for? Morals. Why did we watch those shows in the first place, right? Those amazing sitcoms that we used to sit and watch. They raised me. I don't know about you guys, but I was raised on those 80s and 90s sitcoms with their incredible morals and incredible stories. Now, my husband makes fun of me. I still love watching those shows to this day. I don't know about you guys, but I could sit there and watch Full House and Step by Step and Family Matters and all of those shows all day. But I digress, right?
We were so worried about you.
Michelle, you know you're not supposed to wander off by yourself.
Ooh, they're stacking that anticipation tall. It's coming though.
But Daddy, I was so mad.
You know what? I get mad when I don't get my way at Walt Disney World too.
Well, that's no excuse. We're gonna have a long talk about this later.
Oof. Danny Tanner's bad books sure is a unique circle of hell, that's for sure. Whew.
But Daddy, I'm the princess and nobody would do what I told them.
Not really surprising from the youngest in the family.
Sounds like you were trying to be the boss.
Ouch.
The princess is the boss.
Girl has a point.
Bruce Springsteen is the boss.
Maybe.
Michelle, a good princess is fair and kind. That's what makes people love her.
There it is. There it is. Humility is the moral of this particular episode of Full House. Thank you, Tanner family, and thank you, 80s and 90s sitcoms from all over the world for sharing your moral stories with us. Let's now fast forward to Michelle's third wish. She's learnt her lesson in humility, in being humble, from her ever-wise father, Danny, bless, right? Her third wish is that she wants to change places with Stephanie, her sister, who she hurt in this process during her day at Walt Disney World, and allow her to ride the daily parade as the princess. Stephanie's beside herself. She is so grateful. Nearly there's this to and fro, like she's like, oh, I couldn't. Michelle's okay. And then she's like, yes, I'll do it. But Michelle changed the dynamic of their relationship by allowing her sister to ride on the parade. And here's the thing, Snow White is so impressed with how Michelle is being a humble princess that she lets the whole family ride on the parade. Oh my goodness, right? Whole family gets to ride on the daily parade. Amazing. So the lesson for us at home, humility, being humble. You don't know everything. You haven't been everywhere and you haven't done anything. So it's really important to remember that for two reasons. Because it's true. You have so many lessons that you have left to learn in this world. You need to be open to any and all opportunity. Michelle was closed off. She wanted it to be her way or the highway. But when she was open to different opportunities and she allowed other people to join in on the festivities, she felt complete. She felt loved, just like they felt loved. And she was open to different opportunities and she got a whole different experience out of the whole thing, other than just being a selfish little so-and-so, right? The other side of the coin though, people will adore you. Who does not love a humble person, right? Someone that's humble and is giving and is open and just wants everyone to have a great time and join in and just be fabulous together. We all love a humble person, right? Well, thank you for joining me on this amazing journey down memory lane, visiting the Tanner family on their visit to Walt Disney World in the 1993 episode of Full House, when the house meets the mouse. That was actually a two-parter. It is still on Netflix here in Australia at the moment if you want to check it out. Also, I'm sure it's available over in the States or anywhere else where you're viewing this video from. Thanks for staying with us on this episode of Disney PD. If you have any questions, drop me something in the comments. I love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. I love hearing from all of you. I love seeing your beautiful faces. Don't forget, you can find us at BeTheBlackSheep.com.au. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're all over the place. As always, have a fabulous time until I see you next time. Catch you then. Bye.